Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, man. It's 3:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, before I get into the meat of this video, let me give you guys a little heads up. In the first 30 seconds of a video of a monetized channel like mine with advertising, in the title, in the first 30 seconds, I have to watch what I say. There's a lot of words I can't use if I want to keep my monetization. So I'm going to start this video off a little slow. I'm going to talk about one thing. I'm going to talk about the passing away, the loss of a former Alabama running back, famous person or semi-famous person, Ahmad Galloway, passed away on January 9th. And one thing came to mind. Now the toxicology came back on Ahmad Galloway, who passed away on January 9th. That was less than 2 months ago. I started to wonder how come the toxicology has not come back. I've done a lot of stories on Aaron Carter, and every week I check to see, because his autopsy was deferred, and every week I check to see if the toxicology has come back yet, because I think Aaron Carter, forgive me if I don't get the exact, he's been gone since last year, since November last year, and we still haven't got the toxicology back from him yet. Okay, let me get into this. Let me say this, man. I've been clean and sober since October 23rd of 2006 for over 16 years, and this is one of the things I'm really thankful for, because some of the stuff they're mixing out there, fentanyl wasn't around. I remember a few people around me using fentanyl patches, manipulating them in ways to get the drug out of the patch. I'm not going to get specific about that, but it wasn't around. It really wasn't a thing back in 2006. That's the last time I ever used any of those drugs, besides for methadone, which I was treated for, and which is the thing that saved my life, methadone maintenance. Thank God some of this stuff wasn't around. I'm going to talk about xylazine, or tranq dope. This is something that's it's popping up a lot around here, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New England area, out in San Francisco. It's a animal tranquilizer, all right? Former Alabama, sometimes it takes the passing away, the death of, like I said, a famous person or a semi-famous person to kind of bring things out to the forefront. And I've seen this, I've heard this drug now for probably since last year sometime. And I've been wanting to talk about it. And there was the story today about Ahmad Galloway passing away, the former running back. He was an English school middle teacher, found dead on January 9th in his home because he didn't show up for work. And they did an autopsy, and they found fentanyl, ethanol, and xylazine. Now, I didn't look too much into ethanol, but I know it's a type of alcohol. I will put that one over to the side. He had fentanyl in his system and xylazine. And I've heard some stuff. I've heard about xylazine more and more lately. There's going to be a lot of links below. And if you have any interest in this, or if you're concerned about people around you or yourself, look down below there. The number for the Poison Control Center will be down below too, and there'll be a lot of information on this specific drug. Okay, let me get into it now. Apparently, this drug, this is an animal tranquilizer, xylazine. It is not approved for human use, and there's a very good reason why it's not approved for human use either. And nobody is very specific of where this drug is coming from. Like I said, it's supposedly used in veterinarian offices for muscle relaxing and anesthesia, not approved for human use. And in the articles I read down below, they said there's not a whole lot of evidence that it's coming from being misdirected or stolen from veterinarian offices. So there's no word on where this drug is coming from. Okay, it can't be treated with Narcan. Nefarious people, dealers, will sometimes mix xylazine, this animal tranquilizer, which is also called tranq or tranq dope on the street. They mix it with heroin or fentanyl to increase the buzz. It slows down the heart rate. And the scary thing is too, people can pass out in the cold and freezing to death. Also, it causes crusty lesions around the skin from the injection site, a really hideous side effect from this drug. Like I said, it's being mixed with fentanyl. This is becoming a problem. If you read the articles down below, here in Connecticut, Massachusetts, around the country, it's popping up more and more. Now, here's the thing that I really want to talk about. I was seeing this name xylazine here and there over the last 6 or 8 months because I'm a recovering addict. And these stories catch my attention. And I remember the drug crocodile from Russia. Some of you probably heard this hideous drug. It also created, it rotted the flesh of the people that use it. People that use crocodile in Russia, which I'll get to more how it's not related to xylazine, but I thought it was because crocodile causes these lesions. It causes bone and flesh rot and skin rot. People have an average life expectancy of 2 years after their first use. Crocodile, which isn't around all that much from my understanding, I don't know, I'm not in the drug scene, but I haven't seen it listed very much, is made from desomorphine, an opioid derivative of codeine. I remember seeing videos here on YouTube of how they made this with gasoline in Russia and codeine bought from a pharmacy. And they inject this with gasoline into their system. And it literally gives them gangrene and rots the flesh. And I got this confused because I saw xylazine popping up and then talking about this being a zombie drug because it creates this zombie effect in people. They both had kind of a similar effect. And the rotting flesh from the crocodile and the crusty lesions. It sounds like xylazine isn't quite. I mean, it's terrible. Both are terrible, but it doesn't sound if it's quite as bad as crocodile. I mean, they're both hideous drugs, but it doesn't sound like it's quite as bad. Xylazine it's opioid, and I'm sorry, it's not an opioid, and it cannot be treated with naloxone. So when people overdose from this, it's like I said, it's being mixed in heroin and fentanyl. And this running back, Ahmad Galloway, passed away from this on January 9th. It was found in his system, and it's being used more and more around here. And people tend to just, it prolongs the effect of opioids. It's being used to cut into fentanyl and heroin. And this is one of the reasons why I am so thankful that I am still not involved in this, because every day I was using, every day I'd have to get up and go get at least 10 to 15 bags of heroin just to function. And, if that was still my life, I'm sure I would have come across this stuff all way too close for my safety. So I'm very thankful that I've been clean and sober for 16 and a half years. Recovery is possible. I am an example of this. There'll be more information listed down below, along with the Poison Control Center and all the information about running back Ahmad Galloway passing away and everything you need to know down below. Recovery is possible. Have a good Tuesday.